Welcome back aboard Arabella. The boat and crew are ready to get on the move to leave Bristol, Rhode Island behind and to set a few waypoints north, eventually making their way to my neck of the woods at the mouth of the Merrimack River here in Newburyport. And if you happen to be in Newburyport this coming Monday, August 7th from 1 to 6 p.m., Arabella will be open for boat tours at the waterfront. Just map yourself to Waterfront Park and look for us there. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to make sure you're subscribed and to click that like button for us. It helps a lot more than it probably should. These episodes are possible because of all the support that we get from our Patreon members. Check out how you can get access to our monthly live streams by clicking the Patreon link in the description of this video.
All right, Steve and I are getting ready to send up the VHF antenna. He's putting on all his abrasion protection because he's gonna have to climb up the rig. It's nice not to have to do that. Usually I'm the guy on other boats, but here, haven't had to go up once.
You can if you want.
No.
You can sure. You normally go up on a halyard and a
and a winch.
chair.
I would like to use the ascenders. It'd be a cool thing to learn. But here we go, we got the ascender pack. So we've rigged this little wonderful paper towel flower, which hopefully we're going to be able to use with the vacuum to pull this messenger line through the blue Smurf tubing in the mast.
I've left my climbing line fixed here through all of this because I knew that we still had work to do. Since this line has been up and fixed for a while, I want to back up when I go up there. So I took one of our halyards here and I threw a friction hitch on so I can slide this up as we go, and if I were to fall, that should snag that line and keep me hanging. At the very least, it'll slow me down as I head towards the deck. I don't anticipate that. I would bet pretty much anything that this line's totally fine and is all good, but it has been left unattended in the sun at the top of rig for a while. Okay, all the way.
Has the antenna. Okay, I'm down here in front of the main mast, and I've got this Makita vac. We're gonna try to suck the messenger line down from up there on the mast. Let's see if it works. All right, here goes. Oh, I got it. Look at that. It just...
I had to trim it down, but yeah.
This is what he ended up using. Nice. Got it.
With the VHF antenna installed, Arabella was ready to fill up the tanks and head out of the harbor.
Got fuel. Smooth operation.
Yeah, Satchel did a great job bringing us in. Nice and gentle. He didn't take the bowsprit off on the pylons.
My dock out was smooth. I would have liked to get a little more rotation before I backed off, but you know, the prop walk's pretty aggressive. So I should have gone on a little harder, but live and learn. It was smooth. Didn't hit anything. Always chasing perfection. But the fueling was really easy.
Yeah, Bristol has been fantastic. Very warm, welcoming town. The harbor master, the fuel dock, the amenities, everything have been really, really great.
Yeah.
Major thanks to Jamestown Distributors for getting us the mooring here for a couple weeks. It's been a really nice place to hole up. Total Boat. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, we really, really highly recommend Bristol. It is Akiva tested and Akiva approved.
Yeah. And the town approves of Akiva.
He got so many head pats in Bristol.
Yeah.
So why aren't we sailing?
Why aren't we sailing? Well, there's not a lot of wind.
There's no wind.
That's the first reason. No, there does. I was looking at the forecast this morning. It looks like from Provincetown to Newburyport, there might be wind.
There might be wind.
Yeah. From
We
a
don't have
favorable direction.
we don't have a jib, but
That's not the end of the world.
we got everything else.
Yeah. And it would be interesting to see how she balances without
Without it.
But yeah, it looks like kind of a reach or a close reach, which would be nice.
Yeah. It would be cool to put the staysail in the mizzen up and
Yeah.
go. I'd happily sail even if it takes a couple hours longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, me too. Wow. Some very aggressive tender towing behavior here. They got it back in the wake. Just planing along.
There was one more stop in Rhode Island just east of the Mount Hope Bridge here in the background. Kristen from TotalBoat had invited Steve to visit a special boat race they were having. TotalBoat invited several teams worth of content creators in the maker community to present boat designs that could be completed in 48 hours with unlimited access to TotalBoat products. They got extra points for the amount of different products they used in their various creations, and the completed boats were brought to the shore to prove their seaworthiness in a race.
1, 2, 3. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let me get a video real quick.
If he doesn't already have it.
Dragon?
We'll just set it up here on the graph for now. That's Keith Mitchell from Shipwright Skills in the banana boat. In P the Burn. Used to be Peel the Burn, but now it's P the Burn. Look at that paddling skill.
I think they lost an ear on their masthead.
Arabella anchored at nearby Fogland Beach for the next 2 nights, which made time to go ashore and to keep after a few minor projects on the boat. The cockpit combings were already getting a bit of mildew from the wet cushions being on them, and while they could be sanded by hand, if KP could get a little more power to run the AC, the power sander would make quicker work of things.
Oops. Hey, 2:45. Nice.
Or when it starts out not there, then it's there. Which essentially the police photographs proved her story that it was never out there in the first place.
After a beautiful, calm morning, the engine was fired up for the day. The next mooring was in Pocasset, near the entrance to the Cape Cod Canal.
Oh, I've never done this before. I don't know if this will work or if this is exactly how you would set it up, but I don't know. I had these things kicking around and we're going to be traveling some miles here, so I figured why not try it.
We're gonna catch a fish!
It's just some 3-strand nylon. Nothing fancy. And there's a piece of bungee in here. And the idea is that if we see this bungee tight, there's something on the end of the line, probably seaweed. And it needs to be tended to. So we have a little teaser. Seaweed. No rod and catch something real big, which in case the monofilament will break.
Oh yeah, okay.
But if we did the whole line out of monofilament, you'd cut yourself trying to pull the fish in.
Yeah, big time. Because that's tarred 3-strand, right?
Yeah. We had a spool of it. So.
Might as well try. Another first. Let's see.
Let's see.
Hey, look what we have here.
Beautiful Sacana light. These islands are just so picturesque. I love them.
They're beautiful.
And it's like there's kind of a shoal inside there, so you can see on the chart, if you go inside, it's really shallow and protected. There's always a ton of birds. Saw a seal there yesterday. It's like a nice little paddleboard.
Will you tell us why obviously we're raising staysail to sail, but also, what are we about to do
Well,
here?
the alternator has had this kind of intermittent issue, which doesn't occur all that often, but when we get to full batteries, the alternator external regulator from wake speed tries to stop charging, which is what we want. But the battery voltage, like the voltage on the alternator output terminals, keeps climbing, even when the wake speed is commanding no excitation. So I think because this was kind of a modification to the Nani engine, I think there's still some source of voltage on the excitation terminal other than the alternator regulator, which I can't quite explain how that could be happening, but the regulator, the wake speed's in float mode, 13.4 volts, and if we throttle up, we're getting 14.6, which is just too high. So I'm gonna shut it off and disconnect and see what happens.
All right. That was planned. Yeah, we have some space to drift, but I feel better at the staysail.
I know, and it's so, you know what's so funny that you said that? I posted something the other day. This is like, we can even.
Ready to fire her back up? Still unable to hit the target voltage. Obviously, because I didn't address what could be causing this problem. But, I mean, now that I've disconnected the wire, there's no current flow. Frustrating. I don't know what's causing that wake speed issue, but I'd rather do this than over voltage the batteries and have an issue.
I'll save you! Steve!
Put them on Akiva.
Whipped on the plant.
Oh, nice form.
ahead. It's the one dead ahead.
Before heading out the next morning, Steve used the extra hands to help replace the lines securing the deadeyes. These had been done in Mattapoisett with nylon line that had been donated. But it ended up stretching too much, and the shrouds were getting loose. Steve replaced it with a spool of Dyneema that he'd picked up along the way.
This is Robin's home waters.
My home waters. I grew up here.
Robin, you could do this without a chart plotter.
I can close my eyes, put my hands behind my back, sit me at the tiller, and I got it.
Steer with your feet.
I steer by feeling. She's actually she was gonna swim.
This is what Akiva thinks of that.
Akiva's so mad he can't catch a fish.
So yeah, there's the narrow channel. We've got our track from yesterday where we came in at a slightly higher tide and we didn't hit anything. And so we're following it again.
Yeah.
You can see the depth there, 2.3 feet below the keel.
It's fine. Satchel set a little bit of...
There is a slight, I got some pocket margin on the depth sounder.
Margin for our depth sounder.
Which I confirmed yesterday while sitting on the mooring by swimming until I was standing on the bottom and measured on my body how far I was to the bottom of the keel.
I was there. That's
Science.
That is exactly
That's how we do it here.
That's it.
Precision engineering.
Precision.
Original science is your senses, and that's what Satchel did.
Yeah, it was right. It was right here. I touched my just right. That's how far it was.
Yes, 7 feet. Look at that. Ooh, and there's a bunch of sandbars.
There we go. Getting close to the canal. Got a nice osprey nest.
The concept of a canal across Cape Cod came about as early as 1697. George Washington was responsible for one of the many surveys, but no actual work on building a canal would happen until 1909. And in 1914, the first vessels started using the new route that could save them up to 150 miles and spare captains a treacherous trip around the outer Cape. Managed by the Army Corps of Engineers, it's freely used by recreational and commercial vessels, and occasionally by pods of right whales, which will close the waterway until they're safely through.
That's kind of what I figured, given that our courses are matched and we're going there too. Very nice.
Yeah, I speeded up a little. I sense us verging into each other. But I'm going to slow down when I get a little ahead of you.
All right, happy sailing, slice of life. Arabella going back to 1-6.
Happy sailing to you, Arabella.
Wish I'd had a joke or something else to say to them.
piece of Douglas fir left over from Victoria's spars. And we've got a little bit of mast track. And we need to extend the mizzen just a little bit because we got to put the cap on the top, and we're about at the very top when we hoist the sail. But to do that, we need to extend the shim that's on there because there's the taper at the mast and the sail is straight. And the track will get cut to sit on there, but I need to know at what angle to cut this, and I do need to know how thick it needs to be. So for that, I have to go aloft. And it would probably be easier to do this when we are at the anchorage tonight, but Satchel thought it would be much fun and good footage to do this while underway since it's so calm out. So.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is like an epic cooking video because the flames are coming out, the boat is rolling.
Her hat.
Robin has burned the spoon already.
Should we manufacture?
I thought I smelled that. Yeah.
You did smell it.
Well, we should manufacture. That's like a special broken-in spoon.
Yeah.
You should sell it like that.
I'll just have Steve whittle me a new one. Out of a piece of driftwood that he finds.
Better or worse than while we were underway?
Worse.
Unfortunately for Steve, the decision was made to finish up work on the mast track after setting the anchor in Provincetown, which was a little less calm than the crossing had been earlier out in the bay. But once that and a few more jobs were done, Arabella would be ready for the first proper sail the next day on the way to Gloucester.
Nice. All right. That was the last item on our sailing to-do list, which is good because we need to sail tomorrow.
Oh, Akiva.
Beautiful.
So's the boat.
I had to do some research at the PFTs. I don't like this.
So why does Arabella need to sail to Gloucester? Because there was a weather system moving in that was blowing gale force winds. If the weather changed for the worse, it would be better to already have the sails up than to try to raise them in a blow. Also, the sails are more powerful than the engine and would help keep the boat more stable in bad conditions. But did Steve want this day to be his first experience under the sails of his own boat? No, he did not.
but I would like that too. Just don't want to cut it.
Well, we may end up using some lines.
Can we use something to pad this corner of the solar panel?
Freaking sailing! Oh, this is glorious.
God, you get me every time.
Every time.
Every time.
You might notice that things on the boat maybe have seemed a little bit tense, and the reason for that is I hit the wall, my cup was overflowing, I ran out of gas, worn very thin, whatever analogy you would like to use. I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to make launch and to get down to Mystic and be there for the boat show, and ran the crew pretty hard and myself even harder in the process. And then after that, I was really hoping for a couple weeks to sit and decompress and relax. But unfortunately, with prioritizing things that we needed to have done for launch, the galley stove, the fridge, the head, a bunch of things like that weren't finished. And we can't exactly relax and hang out on the boat and decompress without some of those things functioning. They make it a lot easier to relax and decompress. And it's not just me on the boat. There's Akiva, there's Robin, there's KP, there's Satchel. So having a working stove and fridge and head and all of that's very important. So while we took 2 weeks off of videos, I continued to work on the boat for most of that, and then immediately started traveling with 4 people and a rather large dog aboard, and definitely hit the wall and became a crankier, grouchier version of myself than I've been in a really, really long time. So thank you to the crew for putting up with me. And we're sitting here in Newburyport now, and it's just Robin and Akiva and I on the boat, and the things that we need to have a functioning boat are pretty much there. There's a lot of rigging and little things to do, but for us to have a functioning home, power coming in, power going out, all of that is working. So I've been sitting for the last couple days and just relaxing, decompressing, answering the questions from the folks who come by in their boats to see Arabella or come by to just check out this weird boat that they know nothing about. But other than that, I've been trying to keep a low profile and relax and recharge the batteries a bit, because I've been taking a lot more out of them for a long time than we've been putting in. And really want to hit the water and sail and use Arabella and cruise and go, but the last couple weeks have really showed me that I need to stop and slow down for a little bit and remember how to do that and recover and recharge and be able to really enjoy it and not be fried and stressed out, which is how I've been feeling.
So we'll pick it up here next week, on a reach between Provincetown and Gloucester. Steve and Robin and Akiva will settle into Newburyport for a while, and they'll come over to dinner at my house as I'm finishing up this very episode right now. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing, and thanks to our Patreon supporters who keep us moving forward with their contributions. Check the link in the video description if you'd like to join them, and we'll see you next Friday.